Good afternoon, everybody. Apparently, I'm live. For those of you who like to chat, I have bad news. I have this little thing here that says chat is disconnected. Please wait while we try and reconnect you. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why it's disconnected. I'm looking at it and I can't seem to do anything with it. So sorry, guys. I know you all love to chat. You'll have to hit me up later. Having a little coffee. Let me adjust this. So let's jump right into it because I've been away for a whole week. And in that week, I did so much. So to start with, I made this shirt. Now, it's not finished. You can see over here, I haven't finished the cuff. I want to do this as a rolled hem. And I know I have a rolled hem foot somewhere. I just don't know where. So I have to track that down. I want to do a rolled hem because can you see how fluttery these sleeves are? I'll show you a picture of this is the pattern I used. And I used this one here. Oh, there we go. And I like the flutteriness of the sleeves. I'm not going to go into the shirt too much because I think by Friday, I'll have it finished. I'll find the rolled hem foot and I'll finish it. And then I might do a Friday sews. The only problem with me doing a Friday sews is I feel like if I start doing a Friday sews, I'm not really going to be able, to do it every week until we're out of school, because then I'll have Fridays off. I'll be able to do it. So we'll see. Anyway, so one of the things I also did this week was I baked bread. Now, I have a history of trying to bake bread and instead coming out with loaf-shaped building material, basically like a brick, right? But I use the no-knead bread recipe in this book, and not sponsored or anything, and it turned out great. I did a white loaf to start with, which is what the recipe's for, and then I did a whole wheat loaf. In fact, I baked the whole wheat loaf yesterday, and I gave it the ultimate test, which is I made it into a PB&J. I sliced some off and made a PB&J out of it, and it was pretty rocking. So, yeah, it was good. So, what did I work on this week? I worked on craft patterns. And by the way, there's going to be a continuation because I didn't get to all the patterns. While I was going through my storage unit, because I cleaned that up a little bit also this week, just kind of organized a little bit more, I found more patterns. They were indie patterns. And I had a handful of craft patterns that were straight up decor patterns. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like, here we go. Here's one. This one's a little crusty, but yeah. See, it's a decor pattern. It's for slipcovers. In fact, I was just looking at this before we started and part of it's cut. So I'm really going to have to take a good look at this. But this kind of stuff, like pillows, curtains, whole nursery quilt setups, wall hanging, stuff like that. And then I also found a bunch of indie patterns in this box, and I didn't even know I had them. Now, this is what I'm talking about with an indie pattern. This is obviously, it's a template pattern. So the pieces in our instruction are in here, but it's not like a big 4 paper pattern. And you can see, here's the instructions, right? Here's the instructions. And I'm trying to find a date. I don't see a date, but it's a fabric wallet. So that gives you an idea of how old it is. So next week, that's what we're going to be doing because they're going to take me a week to finish up. But oh my, this week working on crafts, I knew it was a lot of dolls. I was well aware of that. I did not go into it blind, but boy, it's a lot of dolls. So let's start off with what I always do. I found this in one of the patterns. I don't remember which one. And it's just says patterns. It says 385. Doesn't say how many patterns it is. And yeah. And can you see that? Look at that. Look at the top of that. It is vintage Joann's fabric. Look, when they were still, right? They were still doing a handwritten receipt. Very sad news. I'm sure all of us have heard that Joann's is filed for Chapter 11, which is not 100% bankruptcy. I think that might be 13 is the one where you're filing for protection from your creditors as you're going through a restructure or bankruptcy or whatever. But seriously, where are we going to get fabric? I mean, granted, I get most of my fabric from Goodwill at this point in time, including the fabric that I use for this lovely blouse I'm wearing. But, you know, it's fun when you have the time and money to go to Joann's and look at all the fabric, right? I know, you guys are all with me. So without further ado, let's start looking at these patterns. We're going to start with just straight up doll clothes. So here we go. This was a baby doll. I believe this one fit Baby Alive. There were several patterns that I found that fit Baby Alive dolls, which I have not thought about the Baby Alive doll. Some of you remember this from our 70s childhood in forever. But yeah, I never had one. My mother did not want to change any more diapers, including the ones on my baby dolls. So these look the same, but they're not, by the way, because I made the mistake of thinking they were the same pattern. They are not. Again, baby alive, baby doll type clothes patterns. This was a pattern for what is called a velvet doll, which, from what I understand, may have been one of those. Do you remember when you were a kid, they had the dolls that walked? They were like life size. They were like a 4-foot doll. I think they're clothes for velvet. This one is a Cher doll clothes pattern. And if you look closely, you can see these two dolls that resemble Cher. Yes, there was a Cher doll. I vaguely remember it. This also says it can be used for the Farrah doll. And this one, I think, straight up said it could be used for Farrah doll. Of course, all of these can also be used for, you know, for Barb, for Miss Barbie. This one, I'll take it out of the plastic. This one was a little fragile. All the glue was coming apart. It was coming apart in pieces. This is just another baby doll pattern. I think this one was actually for like the rubber baby dolls, like a Betsy Wetsy. You guys remember Betsy Wetsy? Like she was like a plastic doll. You could take her in the bathtub with you, and she peed. Oh, Pamela, you can. Oh, good, you can. I guess they reconnected me. I'm so glad that people can chat. Thanks. Thank you, Pamela. And I can tell you, I made this to be like a summer blouse, and it is going to be, I'm going to wear the heck out of this summer, because this is like it's like a poly cotton blend. It is so whisper light. And I know when we're doing Hell's Front Porch, which I've talked about before, when it's 100+ degrees outside, this is going to be the top I'm going to be wearing. Let me tell you, because it is so nice. And it was a great design. It you know, it's a big fluffy design. It hides a multitude of sins, right? You know. All right. So this pattern, I think these are for, like, you know, those expensive dolls that they used to sell in QVC. This is not like a regular old doll clothes pattern because it's fancy. And here's another one. I think this was also like Baby Alive type baby dolls. Most of these McCalls or otherwise do not have line drawings on the back, but it comes with all of this stuff. Oh, and this, here we go. Was I just talking about the Donnie Marie doll? So yes, this actually says on the label that it is made for the Donnie Marie dolls. And you can see dolls resembling Donnie and Marie up there. And there's all the outfits. This one actually has some line drawings. So, but yeah. I forgot how many Barbie-esque type dolls there were on the market. All right. So this next one, this was an interesting find. So I got this pattern, right, for this doll. There she is in all her glory. And then I had this pattern also, which you can see she's standing next to, you know, she's sitting next to a little girl. These are like a completer wardrobe type pattern. I went out online, dozens of these. You could, and everybody has them, right? This, couldn't find it. Couldn't find it on Etsy, couldn't find it on eBay. So I'm selling this, I put this together on my site as a set, and I'm selling them together because I can. Because I can, and they'll probably make somebody really happy, you know. Water babies, Do not remember this from the 90s. Do not remember the Water Babies dolls, but I'm assuming they're dolls you could take in a bathtub because it describes them as Water Babies or any whatever size these are, vinyl dolls. So, and McCall's, so no line drawings. And Super Saver. Okay, so this is obviously, and we'll see several of these, by the way, the knockoffs of the Cabbage Patch dolls. So here's one of the knockoffs. Super Saver, for those of you that don't remember, and I didn't remember this, I had to look it up. Super Saver was Simplicity's answer to See and Sew and Stitch and Save. Now, Stitch and Save is the cheaper brand of McCall's, and See and Sew is the cheaper brand of Butterick. So this is when the big four were not actually one company, because let's face it, they're just one big company now. But this was Simplicity's idea. So Simplicity had Super Saver patterns. And this is for the dress and the pinafore. And then speaking of, yeah, I had two different patterns. And these are just for the clothes. I have other Cabbage Patch patterns, but these were just for the clothes. And you can see here, I'll show you the backs of them. They're basically the dresses and the bloomers for Cabbage Patch dolls. I was surprised how many doll patterns Mrs. Landis had. And the majority of them are uncut. I found very few cut doll patterns. So I'm not sure why she had so much. And I don't know if she was planning on making them and never did, or whether she had a store. Like, I'm still convinced she had a store. And then here we go. Here's another celebrity, Strawberry Shortcake. It doesn't smell like strawberry shortcake, because remember her stuff used to smell like strawberries, but this does not. And there's no line drawings on the back, unfortunately, but it's for the doll and the clothes, according to the description on the back. Okay, so here we go. Well, let me pull out. Where are they? So here we go. Here's the McCall's answer to the fake Cabbage Patch. So they were called Blossom Babies, right? And they look somewhat like Cabbage Patch dolls, especially, I mean, look at this guy. He looks just like the Cabbage Patch doll. And it's the dolls and a couple of outfits. And then I also had two wardrobe patterns. Same deal, right? Now, this one has no line drawings, but this one has actual illustrations of the outfits. And they are very much in the vein of Cabbage Patch. So they were the, I don't know, they were the knockoff Cabbage Patch, I guess. Because let's set the Wayback Machine. Remember? People like killing each other to get a Cabbage Patch kid at the dolls when the dolls were for sale at Christmas time. Yeah. These are little tiny, I still don't know. They come in like, I guess they're Cabbage Patch, kind of. Can you see the leaves? But they're much smaller. They're a much smaller doll. They're only like an 8-inch doll, so they're tiny. And yeah, according to the line drawings, you could make the doll, the outfit, and the leaves. So there you go. Don't remember that trend at all. Okay, so I got a couple controversial patterns coming up here that we may have to talk about a little bit. So we'll do that in a minute. All right, so yeah, sorry about the glare on this one. These are the shiny. So this Butterick one is like boy or girl with the outfits. And these are really, this was a tough one. These were a tough call because these could be played with by kids. You know, the envelope actually has a little girl on it, but they're really more of like a primitive folk type doll. They're not really like a baby doll that a girl plays with. This, on the other hand, this was one of the patterns. You guys might remember these dolls. There's no line drawings on the back, but this is one of those dolls that has the buttons, the snaps, the zipper, and the ties, so that the kids can learn how to tie their shoes, button their coat, zip things, snap things, whatever. And it was so cute. And each doll has a couple of the different things in there. All right, so yeah, you know what I'm thinking, right? All right, they're folk dolls. It's legitimate to think that they would have African-American folk dolls. This one I thought was pretty normal. Didn't have any real issue with it other than, you know, you could make the doll dark-skinned if you had a dark-skinned child. Not a problem. This next one, however, I'm still on the fence. I've already posted, but I'm still on the fence. It's got that really kind of, It's problematic. All right. Can you see the quote African American doll there? Yeah, really problematic. Here's the line drawings. I mean, you could actually do that doll in white muslin if you wanted to, but it's a bit, right? And I had a hard time with this. I put it up online. It's a tough call, right? Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. That's the thing. It's a little too like it's a little too like mammy, right? It's a little too like, and this is their servant. This is the servant doll that you can. Yeah, it's tough, right? Yeah, it's problematic, but whatever. I put it up online. If somebody really gives me a lot of crap about it, I might take it down, but we'll see. I don't know what to do with it. And then these are life-size dolls. Remember, we were just talking about Velvet, the doll that walked. This is a baby doll. Now, she is a soft cloth doll. But I'm trying to remember, this doll was like 48 inches or something. It's a big doll. It's the size of a small toddler. So, and then we went to the extreme. These are mini dolls. And there's no line drawings, but I guess they're almost like little Polly Pockets, except they're made of cloth, you know. And then I had two of these. Don't remember these. Never heard of them. Don't remember them at all. They're from the 80s, Moon Babies. So one of them officially has the Moon Baby seal. Moon Baby seal. Yeah, I didn't mean to say it that way. Moon Baby logo right there. And they have these really interesting names. Like this is the Lollipop Moon Baby. Whereas this one is the Nightcap Moon Baby, which I thought was funny because all I could think was the drink. But so I don't remember these. Maybe you do. Maybe your mom made them for you. And then in that vein, we had these penny candy dolls. Again, don't remember these. So these are the girl dolls. There's the logo. Penny Candy, the girl dolls, and Penny Candy, the boy dolls. Again, not really sure why Mrs. Landis had these because she never made them. But, you know, whatever. I'm happy. I'm happy she had them. I got them now. I'm going to put some patterns on the floor. My dog's lying next to me looking at me because he ignored me all day until I started doing this video. And then all of a sudden, he needs to be right here. I see through his lies. So trigger warning, if you don't like clowns, now's the time to skip ahead because we got a couple clown doll patterns. All right, so cute. I'm not a clown person. Yeah, this was another whole set, or should I say genre, that I'm not sure if these were really meant for kids to play with or if these were meant for people to put up on display. Because remember, in the 90s, we had those people, everybody knew them, that had the display of teddy bears, bunnies. Oh, there's so many bunnies in here. Like, honestly, I thought at one point maybe the bunny patterns were actually reproducing while I had them near each other. The reason I think that these may not be actual toys and more like display is stuff like this. This is very put it on your shelf in the living room and let it catch dust for 20 years kind of thing, you know? It had that general look. And hold on, there was another doll pattern. Oh no, my patterns are out of order. Where's that other doll pattern? Sorry, other clown pattern. There we go. Okay. So Simplicity did their bid too. Same thing though, right? Not really looking like kids' toys. More like, let's put this doll on a shelf and display it until we get tired of dusting it. All right, but we did actually have some really interesting kids' toys patterns like this, which I believe Simplicity reproduced this a couple years ago. They're the yo-yo circles like you do the quilts with, except you put them all together and you have an owl, a little clown doll, a caterpillar, and a dachshund. So, and very cute from the 1980s, even though that picture there, I'm pretty sure the original pattern was actually, this might be from the 70s. This might have been from the 70s. This one, which I thought was fascinating. This is a really interesting pattern. It's from Better Homes and Gardens, as you can see. It combines woodworking. It has the actual directions for doing these bases here. Sorry, there we go. Which is made of wood. And then you sew the animals that are stuffed into it. And it's the whole barnyard again. We got the sheep and the bunny and the cow, and I think we got a horse in there, and all of it. There's the line drawings. But I thought this was a really interesting pattern. I don't ever remember seeing a pattern that also gave you woodworking instructions, but I guess if you were a sewer and your husband was a woodworker in the 80s, I have your pattern. Yeah. And then there was this. This is so cute. This is the dolls, and then they go into the carrying case and they have their little outfits. And I thought this was really cute. Unfortunately, no line drawings because it's McCall's, but super cute. And now we get into, oh boy, yeah, the next kind of genre of things that just, again, we're going to look at teddy bears. Now, I've already told you the story of my friend's mom who had the teddy bears. She used to buy the little chairs, the little rattan chairs, so that they could sit and stare at everybody with their cold, dead eyes. I'm really sure that none of these patterns are really made for children to play with. Now, interestingly, a couple of them show you bears in some kind of theme. So like the very first one I'll show you is definitely like themed, right? It's all these different bears, right? I think it's the top one over here. Yeah, this is a very Christmas. We have like the wedding bears and the Christmas bears. Again, I don't think these were really meant for kids. I think they were meant for display. It's because it doesn't have any line drawings, but you can see. But down here, I don't know if you guys know what a memory bear is, but you can take your kids' clothes or 3 or 4 of their favorite outfits that your kids have when they're small, and you can make one of these teddy bears and you use that clothing, and they call it a memory bear, and they're very popular. I've sold the patterns for them before. All right, so, but again, kind of looks like more like display. It's like the Flapper Bear, the Great Gatsby Bear. Not really kids' toys. And this was so cute. This one actually says that you're to use faux fur. So it was one of the few patterns that really said to use faux fur and not fabric. All of them you can use fur or fabric. This one specifically said use faux fur to make the bears. And it comes with a pattern. Part of the pattern is the pieces that you can cut out to make that little quilt. And I thought that was super, super duper cute. And then last but not least, in the bear category, see, like these are definitely the kind of bear that you can turn into a memory bear very easily. Especially some of them, like I was looking at this one over here. And this to me looks like something you could take your daughter's whatever dress, turn it into the bear, use the collar from the dress as a memory bear. No line drawings on this one, sorry. So, all right, so that concludes our bear section. Let's get into, I don't even know what these are. I want to say that they're for display. Yes, a bear with a vest is oh so 90s because we loved a vest and we loved having teddy bears. So why not combine the two? Yes. Yeah, Pam. I'm glad that you caught that because I caught that too. I was like, oh, the bear has a vest. So these next set, I guess kids could play with them, but my thought is these are really display dolls. So let's take a look at them and you'll see what I mean. Like, see, very specific, right? Not really something you go, hey, little Susie, here, I made you this doll. Like, just really not like a kid's toy type doll. Same with this one. Like, they're all like this. Like, to me, they look much more like some type of a doll that you're displaying than a doll that you're giving to a child to play with. And there were quite a few of them. But this is not even the half of it. Wait till we get into the animals dressed like humans. My particular favorite You'll see what I mean. It gets a little nuts. We had lots of bunnies, which I've already talked about. And we've already done some bunnies. We did some bunnies way back because I wanted to do them before Easter. And believe it or not, I actually sold a bunch of bunny patterns before Easter. So that was kind of interesting. This one, I don't know. I've never heard of this, but it's called a bed doll. I don't know what that means. She has very long clothes. That's all I know. And her legs bend, but all of their legs bend. They're soft dolls. And then this one, it's a tough call. Maybe you could give this to a kid. It's, you know, the doll and all the outfits. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows, right? All right, everybody. Oh, that's falling over. Gird your loins. We're going into, oh, wait till you see these. I had to laugh a little bit because you see a trend and it's kind of like, what were we thinking about? Because most of these are from the 90s. There's a couple from the late 80s, but most of these are from the 90s. And there are things like, that's right, a stuffed chicken that you just put in your kitchen, a wreath with geese on it, and mice, a mouse family that, to me, you know, look, doesn't that look very holiday to you? Very holiday. Kissing mice, right? Because, I don't know, it was the 90s. There we go. I'm trying to get the layer. But, and that's just the beginning. It goes on and on. Here's more. I guess these are swans, but we got some ducks there. We got some penguins. Over here we got a pig and some lambs. No line drawings because it's McCall's. And then calico geese, a black sheep, other sheep. Yeah, again, just sitting on the counter, doing nothing. No line drawings. Oh, and then this. If you, I know. If you wanted to have geese, I guess these are geese. No, they're geese. They're not ducks. Sitting in your kitchen, but you could dress them up for occasions. So you have like, I don't know. I guess that's going to bed, down on the farm, going for a walk in the rain. I guess. Still not. Oh, and here's more. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. More geese. And this is like multiple sizes of geese. So you got like mom goose. You have the stuffed geese. You have the calico geese. No line drawings on this one either. And then Super Saver threw their hat into the ring with geese. And by the way, yes, the hats are part of the directions. Yeah, I had specifically looked this up to see if the hats were in there. And they are. They're listed on the pattern as some of the pieces. And they are calico geese and no line drawings. All right. And then we had, oh, here's more display dolls. We went a little out of order. Okay. More dolls that I think are display and not actually for children to play with. Like this thing. There's no line drawings on it, but can you see this? She comes with all the outfits. It's very Titanic before Titanic, right? And again, with this whole Victorian, yeah, again, no line drawings, but they come with all these outfits. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They come with all the outfits. And this, not a good name, by the way. Attic babies. Not, what a horrible, okay. Whoever thought attic babies would be a good thing to name anything should be fired. You should lose your job instantly when you decide to name anything attic babies. Yeah, it's dolls. And these are big dolls, by the way. These are another that are like almost life-size dolls. And attic babies, no less. Yeah, that's the thing. Kids don't want these dolls. Kids don't want attic babies. Attic babies would scare me when I was a kid. If somebody handed me an attic baby, I'd be like, what do you mean attic baby? And again, more of this Precious collection. I had several of these. I think I have some cats that are Precious collection. And again, not made for kids. Like, look at all this. This is display stuff. Yeah, no line drawings. And now, let's get back to the animals. I skipped ahead somehow. I got everything messed up on that. So we have cats. We have a lot of cats in here, by the way. We have at least 4 patterns that are just cats. So we got cowboy cats. We got ladies with the parasol cats. There's the line drawings. So you make the doll, you make the clothes. Again, not sure what we were doing. Fat cats. I thought that was interesting. That is literally the name of this pattern. I think this is it Fay Wine? Yeah, Fay Wine. Fat cats. No line drawings. And then more cats because, and this is Precious Collection. More cats. Yeah. Cats dressed up as humans. And different sizes. So you have like mama cat size, baby cat size. And then we had slightly funkier cats. Yeah, I don't, no line drawings, unfortunately. And then this was a mix. There were cats and bunnies in this one. There were even regular old dolls in this one. Just baby dolls. Again, not for kids. See, there we go. No line drawings. Oh, and then we have this. You would think that it would be rare that I would have 1 horse pattern, but no, I have 2. So here are horse dolls dressed as children. Here's the line drawings, which are somehow scary. I don't know why the line drawings are so scary, but they kind of are. And not 1, but 2, right? Look at that. There's no line drawings on this one, but basically same thing, right? Different size horses dressed up like humans, children. I'm not sure. And then cows. Okay. I remember the cult of the cow. I remember that from the 90s. And see how you can do the wall hanging, or you can just do that's the weird thing. People would just have these in their house. I mean, I really do remember this. I remember my friend's mother having a chicken sitting in the kitchen, a stuffed calico chicken. And again, more cows dressed up as humans. There's our line drawings. And now for mice. Yeah, not really sure. But yeah, there's mice. Here's the line drawings on that one. And last but not least, to end all the animal patterns, frogs. And there was always somebody who likes frogs, right? Everybody knows somebody that likes frogs. And people buy them frog stuff all the time. So those are the frogs. And then to end it all, I had this one pattern that fit in no category. This is actually multiple projects. So it's this huge life-size scarecrow. Then you can do the wall hanging, which is a quilt. You can also do these pumpkins, and the pumpkins are different sizes. And the sunflower. The sunflower is some kind of like a table decoration. Also seems to be quilted. All of these seem, with the exception of the scarecrow, seem to be some type of quilting pattern. So yeah. So that concluded my week off. Yeah. It's a Holly Hobby horse. There's not such a thing, right? By the way, I think all of those Holly Hobby patterns I think they're all gone. I think I sold all of them. I knew they would go. I didn't realize how quickly they would go. I knew Holly Hobby, shady as she is, I knew the patterns would sell quickly. So next week, I'm going to be working. There's a box over here that has these patterns that I found after I'd already pretty much finished everything. So next week I'll be doing, let's pull another random one out. Yeah, see, it's stuff like this. So to me, this is like a craft pattern, right? It's for this quilt and the pillows and everything else. I got a couple patterns in here that are for like, yeah, like all this kind of like pillow decor type stuff. So I'm going to work on these this week, plus these indie patterns. I just realized there's some Dream Spinner patterns in here. Dream Spinner is a company. Oh, and wait, and look what I pulled out. That's right. It's a bear. Because I cannot escape animals that are being dressed like humans. This, though, I think is actually another kind of a memory bear. If you look at the patchwork bear, he has that very kind of like memory bear type thing. Oh, I have a lot of Dream Spinners in here. Anyway, that's what we'll be looking at next week. I'm going to kind of take it easy this week because I can tell you right now, going back to work after having all that time off is going to physically hurt me. It was so nice to have off. You notice I'm not coughing because I got to spend 10 days away from the kids, which means I got to spend 10 days away from all their little germs. So I didn't really get sick this week. I had 2 days, let me see, last Saturday, so the Saturday before Easter, and this week, this Friday. Both days I woke up with really bad headaches, but I think it was because I changed my sleep pattern so much. And that was about it. Other than that, I had a great week. I didn't get sick. I got stuff done. It was fabulous. It was so wonderful. I can hardly wait to retire. I only have like 5 years until I can retire. Maybe 7 if I want to go to 67, but it's nice, right? You know, I love it. Anyway, until next week, when I will be working on these decor patterns. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope wherever you are, the weather's getting a little bit better. We're having what I like to call faux spring. It's kind of springy. It'll get cold again because it always does. I know it's going to happen. Until next week, I hope you have a great week. I hope it's nice. I hope the weather is great wherever you are. And please stay well because this is the time of the year that we all get sick because we think we're getting into spring. And until then, thank you for stopping by and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you knew anybody that had any of these animals dressed as humans sitting on a counter somewhere or a bookshelf somewhere staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. I'd love to hear. And until then, have a great week. Thanks again for stopping by and see you soon.